So hello my YouTube lovelies and welcome to this little road trip. We have just got onto the M62 heading west towards Manchester and we're about to embark on a little road trip to Wales. We are heading hopefully this afternoon. We are heading to Anglesey. We're going to be parking up at a park up near RAF Valley and we'll see what that's like. Sat nav says that I'm going to get there around about 7 o'clock-ish or so. So we're just going to take our time. It's probably going to be more like 8 o'clock because I'm pretty certain I'll need to stop off at some point. So yeah, we're going to do a little road trip. We're going to go to Anglesey, which I've never been to before. Check out some of the coastline there. Check out another RAF base. And then make our way down into Snowdonia and make our way to the Mac Loop and see if we can get some footage of low-flying aircraft through the Mac Loop. It's one of those things you can't really predict the activity, so I guess you kind of just got to go there on the off chance and just hope that it's going to be one of those days when you're going to get lots of activity. So we'll see whether I can do that. The last time I went there in September, I went there for one morning and managed to catch 3 hawks flying through, but we'll see what we can do this time. We'll see if we can get a bit better and a bit more variation. So yeah, it's just a few days just to sort of chill out, take myself to a park which I've always wanted to explore a little bit more, and hopefully we will finish the whole week off Friday. We're heading towards Shropshire and we've got a little van meet up there in Shropshire. I'm not quite sure exactly where. I need to check on my phone to see, and we'll spend a little weekend there with some van folk. So join me on this trip. I hope you enjoy this little trip around north of Wales, and we'll see what we can capture. Good morning, my YouTube lovelies, and welcome to, I guess, the first video or piece to camera on my Wales tour. So I've been here now for 3 nights and about to start on my 4th day. Still don't really know what I'm going to do today, but let's recap on what's happened over the last 3 days or so. So I arrived on Sunday evening at a park up near or opposite RAF Valley, and it was a brilliant park up. Really quiet, totally remote, quite exposed. But on the Sunday when I got there, it was stunning. I got there and the sky was clear, there were stars everywhere, and you could have had a pin drop. It was incredible. It was so quiet. And then the morning I was awoken by the sound of jets taking off, and I was like a schoolboy, all super excited, couldn't wait to jump out of bed. I wanted to see all of them. I was like, and I controlled myself. I got out, took a few photos, made a cup of coffee, and then I hatched a plan to go to a viewing point and get some photography. And you'll see that. You may have seen that actually in the vlog which I'm working on. So by the time you get to this, you would have already seen the plane spotting one. But that was such a great day. It was a really nice day as well. The sun was out and it started to get a bit windy and a bit cold towards the end. I then went for a little trip up to Holyhead and drove basically through Holyhead because I was going to somewhere else. I think it was a place called The Stacks, which is this lighthouse that sits on a great big rock on a peninsula. And that was going to be my park up for the night, but it was so fucking windy. I was just like, no, I can't stay here. And it's such a shame because it was a really good park up. It had an amazing view of the ocean. But never mind, maybe for another time when it's less blustery. And then so from there I kind of went down along the coastline. Beautiful coastline, loads of rock formations, etc., and sandy beaches. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm on Anglesey, by the way, just in case you've been thinking all this time, where the fuck is he? That's where I am, Anglesey. And I then hunted around for a load of park ups. I was using Park for Night, and I went from one to another, and yeah, they weren't so good. And kept hunting. I wanted to stay by the coast, but there was just nothing at all. And in the end, I ended up going inland, and there was a park up just off a main road, underneath some trees, near a reservoir, and that was really good. The only drawback with that park up, and it's nothing to do with the park up, it was just that the weather, it started to rain, and the one thing I have experienced living in a van is if it's raining, don't park under a tree, which you think would be, that would be good because it gives you shelter, and yes it does, but the sound of the raindrops falling from the trees, it's like living on the streets of Beirut. It's unbelievable. It's just, you're being peppered inconsistently, and it's really loud as well. So I had that all night long. But the following morning, woke up and it was just stunning. I had a beautiful walk around the reservoir. Found this amazing railway line, old disused railway line, and took a few shots on this railway line, and it was amazing. I had a really lovely morning. Got back to the van and I took a drive then to another peninsula and ended up at another lighthouse, which I've forgotten the name of, but all I can say is across the water from where the lighthouse was in this particular peninsula was Puffin Island, and you had to pay. It was about £5, but it was worth it because the beach was stunning. I spent a good hour or two down there. Was chatting to this couple as well, which was really nice. And I had a really lovely time there, just taking photos and doing a bit of exploring. There was a little cafe there, so I was able to have a coffee and a piece of carrot cake, which was nice. And from there, I was going to come back over to the mainland, but I still wanted to stay here. There's something about Anglesey. The scenery is really quite diverse, and the shoreline and the coastline is just stunning. And I just didn't want to leave the island, you know. So I found another park up, but it was a bit too blustery. In hindsight, I wished I had have stayed there, because I then came to this other park up, and it was a bit of a mission to get here. And this is where I am now, my third park up, and it was up a small mountain. I guess it's a hill, really. You know, I call it a mountain. And this was probably one of my favourite park ups to date. This is brilliant up here. It's so quiet. The only drawback with this park up was that it was blowing a king gale last night. I mean, it was unbelievably windy. In fact, I think the way my van was being buffeted, it was worse than Storm Kira. It was unbelievable. It was just rocking solidly all night, and the rain was pelting down, and I wasn't able to park my van nose into the wind, because there was another van here in a place just across over there. Good van, actually. It was an old LDV covered in skulls, and it said something about no zombies found here or something like that. It was kind of like an apocalypse van. It was really cool. And they were parked there, which would have been quite a good park up, because there's a bit of a hedgerow of bushes and thorns and stuff like that, so that would have given you a bit of shelter. So I ended up parking where I am now, and actually I got myself completely flat, no levelers, anything. I managed to get a really flat park up, but the downside was that I was side on to the wind, so the van was being rocked around like no one's business last night. But it's worth it, because then when you wake up, you have this amazing scenery around you. The wind has stopped, the rain has stopped. And just out here, you can see Snowdonia in the distance, and there was a little break with the sky about 20 minutes ago. I didn't get a picture of it, unfortunately, but I could see the tops of the mountains covered in snow. So that's where I'm going to be heading on this trip eventually. But today I think I'm just going to do a little bit more of a explore around Anglesey. I need to find somewhere, possibly like a campsite, and charge up. I've got a video that still needs finishing editing, and I need to get it ready to upload tomorrow night. and I'm suffering a little bit on the power, so I might stay one more night here on Anglesey, and then I'll go over to the mainland tomorrow and then do a couple of days around the Mac Loop. So there's a little update on this particular trip, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.